Okay, what is today? Wednesday?
Wednesday.
A little change of plans here. This is Forestry Road 42, and overnight there was a lot of debris, and it's impassable. So it's impassable by car. I'm gonna scoot around this debris and walk from here to the Springer Mountain parking lot, and then up to Hawk Mountain. So every day I guess the Appalachian Trail gives you a challenge, and today my challenge is to try to get through this road and get past this down tree. They're probably not going to clean it up for several hours, so I'm just going to start walking. And I'm glad I wasn't tenting right there, because that could have been a disaster. But we'll get going. So yesterday we parked at the Springer Mountain parking lot and did our little hike up to the top of Springer, and there were forecasted high winds, but as you know, I spent the night with some friends, and this is a second down tree. Obviously it's impassable for cars. I don't know how many more of these there are, but what I decided to do was just have my friends drive back, and I just walk up the trail road until I get to Springer Mountain parking lot, and then I catch the AT there and probably stay in a shelter tonight, because there's high winds forecast for tonight too. And it's one thing for a tree to fall down and block your road, totally different thing to have a tree fall down and fall on your tent. So I want to stay in a shelter because they're pretty sturdy and should be able to withstand some of these winds and hopefully a tree. But this is what it's looking like. So this is Forestry Road 42. I don't know, I'm probably a couple of miles from the Springer parking lot. But I was on this road yesterday and there wasn't much debris at all. But this is the third spot where I've seen a car is definitely not getting past here. And don't know how many more I'll see, but I'm sure there are people that want to start the trail today that are not going to be able to get up here going this way. And there's another way in. You can either do the approach trail, or there's another way of coming in off the forestry road. But who knows, that one's probably closed off too. So maybe they'll get this all cleared up by the end of the day. Oh, finally made it to the trail. That was a pretty good climb coming out of Doublehead Gap. And fortunately there was some people clearing the road. But there's a lot of down trees, a lot of water. I was thinking of making it to Hawk Mountain or Gooch Gap, but that's not going to happen today. I'm going to stop at, I think it's Stover Creek Shelter. And we're expecting another wet, windy night, so I'll get safe in there, dry out a little bit, cook some dinner, and hit it the next morning. But as you can see, it's another humid day, another moist one. So let's talk for just a second about why I'm doing this. Not why I'm hiking the trail, but why I'm vlogging this, why I'm putting this out on YouTube. I've watched a lot of people do their vlogs. I think the first one I saw was Dixie. She's from, she probably lives within 10 miles of where I live. I didn't know that until about the end when I saw her wearing an Auburn hat, and then discovered she was an Auburn grad. But anyway, I watched her, and then I watched a lot of other people. Chica and Sunsets and Greg P and Bigfoot. And what I really liked about watching their vlogs was looking at what kind of people they were when they started, and then looking at what kind of people they were when they finished. And I saw a lot of personal development. I specifically remember Chica and Sunsets after their first night. They got up the next day and they started vlogging, they started recording. And Chica says, "We're still alive." And I thought that was so funny. And then at the end of their trek, when they were in the 100-mile wilderness, Chica's hiking along at a good pace, and she says, "I feel like a total badass." And it was just so funny to watch her and Sunsets and other people grow as they did the journey. So I watched them do it, and I thought, and I watched Early Riser, and he talked about how much support he got from the people on YouTube. But let me just say, you can't really watch Early Riser for the personal development, because when you come out to the trail and you're already a mountain of a man and you come out here and you slay this thing, I mean, there's only so much personal development you can do when you start out and you're already kicking butt from mile one. But his videos are really good about what your mind goes through when you're going through this day after day, when it's not so nice. You're going to have a lot of days like this where it's rainy, it's cold, trees are blown down and you can't get to where you're going. And I guess that's kind of my first lesson, is you can't plan the whole thing out, because even for me, day 1 and 2, it was the weather and the conditions made me change my plans. But getting back to the idea of doing this, it's fun to watch people develop personally and grow. And it's a lot like if you go to college, and even if it's only for a year, or you finish up, you get a 2-year degree or 4-year degree or master's degree or whatever, you're a different person when you finish up than when you start. And for me, that's a fun thing to watch. So that's why I'm vlogging this, and I hope y'all enjoy it.
Is a deep one. Oh, my road.